My dogs, man, my Huskies host Ohio State, number 1 in the country, Ohio State, at 2:30 in the afternoon. Ohio State is 7.5-point favorites, but that line has come way down. It opened at like 13.5-point favorites or something like that.
Yes.
People are all over the Huskies in this matchup, which actually worries me a little bit. I wish we were flying a little more under the radar here, but that's not to be. It's a huge matchup. I have Washington win this game. I'm going to say it right now. I predicted it in our preview, our Washington preview. I said Washington's going to beat Ohio State. What are your all's thoughts on this game, though?
Sorry, I was just laughing at Sven.
You're just giving the explanation.
Copied and pasted from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
This is a big matchup for Washington. I just saw a tweet talking about the trio, and we did an entire segment about it Sunday, of Damon Williams, Jonah Coleman, and Denzel Boston being potentially the best trio in college football: quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
Yeah.
So they're fantastic, and this is like a big test for Ohio State because you cannot sleep on Washington. Spread started at 10.5. I think it's moved to 7.5.
It started at 13.5.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it opened big. It moved really quick.
I don't know where I got that number from. So it started at 13.5, has moved to 7.5.
Yeah.
I saw someone say, and JP as our semi-professional sports gambler, I saw someone say that like the public can't move the line that much. That like something else, like can the 6 points is a lot.
The public can move the line a fair amount. I think a large part of why lines move are, 1, public betting, but 2, it's how much public betting is happening early on.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately once the line is open and out there, if 95% of the bets were coming in and they're taking Washington plus 13.5, then they need to start dropping that line drastically, because Vegas's goal is to have 50% of people bet on both sides, because they have what they have in their favor is called VIG, meaning their odds are split to where if it was 50-50, it doesn't matter who wins, they rake in X amount. And they do that by creating their odds specifically on spreads are like minus 110.
Yeah.
Meaning you have to bet 110 to win 100. And so if you have that on both sides, they take $10 in VIG. Vegas, if it's 50-50, they win $10 off 2 people betting no matter what. And that is what they're trying to do. So if the early money really, really comes in for one side, they drop that line really, really quickly to try and even it out as quickly as possible. And they want 50-50 by the end of the week. And a lot of time that won't happen. Like this week, a ton of people are really heavy on teams like Georgia. A lot of people are heavy on Oregon this week, and it's up like at 80% of people are betting on that. So they can't do it every time.
Well, yeah.
But this, I think, more so explains that story, is that their line is not necessarily a question of like, do they have the right ratings?
Yeah.
They have to also include what the public is going to think immediately. Like the JP poll is different in that it's literally just comparing 2 teams.
Yeah.
What the spread would be between the 2 teams to make it even. Vegas, it's partially that, but that it's also like public perception as well.
Yeah. Cool. All that to say, it is a test for Ohio State. And I guess the people would seem to agree. That's why all the money is coming in on Washington. Washington has a big home field advantage. They've got 22 straight wins at home. It's up there for one of the longest active win streaks, I believe, in college football. I think Georgia's is longer. I don't know about any others, but it's up there with the best.
It's second.
Second?
Yeah.
So that'll be something to watch. And, yeah, you want to say something, Jack?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, so Washington, home field advantage is a big deal. And then Julian Sayin, the quarterback, is still a young starter, redshirt freshman, right? So
yeah,
I mean, this will be his first road start.
First true road game
in a hostile environment, a tough place to play.
Yeah, and so the question will be, does Ohio State open it up? Because he's been playing well since the Texas game. The Texas game is pretty apparent that like it was a conservative play calling, conservative approach to the game because Texas was a very good defense. You didn't want Sayin trying to do too much and ending up losing the game with a late interception or something like that. So they go conservative approach. They run the ball a lot. They get the win there. Now you go to Washington. What is the confidence from that offensive staff like? How much do they believe in Sayan and his ability to manage that team to really wheel and deal to Jeremiah Smith and that tight end from Purdue? And then how much does the Washington defense kind of take that away? How much does the crowd take away his ability to audible and adjust the line of scrimmage? How impactful is the first true road game for him?
Sure. I think they have a good amount of faith in him at this point. I do also think, though, that they believe they can establish the run in this game just based on the talent and size advantage they have in the trenches over Washington. So I think you're going to see a lot of Bo Jackson early. I hope you see a lot of Bo Jackson. I think he's their best running back. I know he's a true freshman. They have Peoples. They have Donaldson. Multiple people that can just run, and they're going to try and pound the rock for multiple reasons. One, because I think they think they can, and that's the spot they can win at. But it also just eats away at the clock. They can win time of possession. You take the ball out of the hands of Damon Williams and Jonah Coleman and Denzel Boston. You don't let Washington's weapons cook if you do that. So I think they're going to try and pound the rock, but I don't think it's because they don't trust Sayan, if that makes sense. And they're going to let Sayan take his shots. They're going to try and get the ball to Jeremiah Smith and the other outside weapons as well. But I just think they see an advantage there. So I think you're going to see a lot of run early.
Well, I'm curious if it will be an advantage. Washington's only given up 59 rushing yards per game in 3 games. Now, they've only played Colorado State, UC Davis, and the Apple Cup.
Sure.
So not Ohio State rushing attack. But I'm curious to see if they will be able to hold up. Washington has actually been pretty good against the run in years past. They usually have really good defensive lines, especially stout in the interior defensive tackle. So I'm curious to see if that'll hold up for them against a Ohio State running back. That's kind of a question right now, too.
Yeah.
It feels like it's Bo Jackson's backfield at this point, but
he's the darling, like the fan pick. I'm interested to see what if the coaches agree with that or not.
Yeah. So I think there's some questions there. Sayan's first road game is like I think the largest story here. How will he react in that? Because what we've seen so far this year, first true road games for guys have not gone well. Arch Manning did not go well whatsoever week 1 at Ohio State. Ty Simpson, he technically played a true road game at South Florida, but I would argue that the Florida State was his first true road start. That went horribly as well. So, like, I just don't think anything's guaranteed there from
Sure.
Julian. I think they're going to be conservative. I fully expect that in his first start. I think they're just going there to try and win a football game, and I don't think they really care how it plays out. They just want to walk home with a win.
Yeah.
As all teams should. They're not trying to make a statement either.
That is the end goal.
I think the big thing.
I do think there's an avenue where the defense, Ohio State's defense that is, has heard all this talk and chatter about Jonah Coleman and Damon Williams and Denzel Boston and feel disrespected, and they're going to go out and play with a chip on their shoulder and try and shut that down and be like, it doesn't matter that they're this good, right? That, they're winning Big Ten Player of the Week offensively and stuff like that, and the whole country loves them. But we're just a different animal. You don't do that against us. And I think that's really the matchup I want to see is, like, I love Damon Williams. I love Jonah Coleman. I love Denzel Boston. I can say it over and over again. But can they do it against Ohio State's defense? I really want to know. Can they do it against Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, like Davison Igbinosun, Caden Curry? It's different than the Apple Cup. It's different than UC Davis,
100%.
right? So that's my matchup to look out for. Sanders, you think they can do that? Do you think Washington can just continue to be this crazy efficient offense? I don't think they've punted in 21 possessions.
I do. I mean, we can go. Do you want to go and get into the picks?
We can start heading that way. But, yeah.
Okay. I do. I really like the offense, and I like Damon Williams. I was very sad. Could not get him. He may have already been drafted in the fantasy league last year, but a really exciting guy who I didn't see a lot of last year. And then when we were getting ready for this season, talking about how he played at the end of the season, coming in for Will Rogers, he's so fun. And the way how creative he is with his legs is awesome. So I do, and I think Jonah Coleman is fantastic. I do think they can get it done. I don't know. They're not going to be insane because this Ohio State defense is still very good, but I think that they're good enough to get it done, especially at home. And then, the impact of the sailgating. Learned about that this week leading up to this game. Completely forgotten that was a thing. So, yeah, I think they can get it done.
Sure. So, are we ready to pick then?
Yeah, I don't know how much sailgating is going to play.
Oh, that was just a joke. I just wanted to drop sailgating.
But I do think their home crowd will play a tremendous factor. I agree with you guys, though. I think defense for Ohio State kind of tells the story. How well do they hold up against Washington's is the story of it. I think Washington's going to win.
Welcome to the club.
I also do. I didn't know we were we're all on the same page. We're all picking Washington.
Forget picking them to cover. We're all picking them to win.
I think they're going to get enough done offensively. I think the crowd's going to help them a ton. Cromie makes a really good point, and Arch got it going in the fourth quarter once he finally kind of settled in. I expect Demon, sorry, not Demon.
He's going to play like a demon.
I think he'll play
the way he runs, man.
I think he will settle in immediately. I think they'll have a really good opening script for him and Jonah Coleman and Denzel Boston. I think they'll get started right on the right foot. I don't think his legs are going to play that much of a factor in this game. I just don't think he is the caliber enough of an athlete to outrun Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese. Those guys just fly. Caleb Downs, any of those guys. But I do think he's a good enough thrower, and I think Jonah Coleman, Denzel Boston are good enough weapons that they can make the impact in this game. I think Sayan might turn the ball over in a key spot, just with the crowd playing that much of a factor. Ohio State fans probably will travel, but they're not going to fill up any more than 2%. It's going to be all Huskies and Dogs there. Obviously, I wouldn't bet Washington plus 7.5. I would take Ohio State plus 7.5.
Sure.
But I think Washington is going to win. And for the purpose of our picks, I'll take Washington plus 7.5 too.
I'll take Washington plus 7.5 too. This is a spot where Damon Williams, like where legends are made. Like you pull off this win in front of your home crowd against the number one team in the nation. Like you become that guy, even more so than you already are.
You have the pick of the litter when you transfer next year.
No, he's staying. He's staying put.
That was a joke.
And I agree. I think he's going to be settled in right away. I mean, he plays a true freshman last year. Has kind of just always been cool as a cucumber. You know, he's sporting a 73.5% completion percentage this year, so people love to talk about his legs, but he really can throw the ball very, very well. The biggest thing is talking about him using his legs. Even if he doesn't use them to scramble, he has a bit of a sack issue at times. He's going to have to make sure that he doesn't take a bunch of negative plays in that regard and use his legs to scramble to avoid sacks, less so than, like, scramble for big runs. But give me the Huskies to cover and win. Sanders, I know you've already
picking
right there
Washington
with you,
to cover and win.
That's sick.